a young elephant bull off in the bush by himself from what we can see now, but it's possible he is around a breeding herd, around the peripheries. I'm going to try and get a little bit closer, but if he shows us that he's uncomfortable with being followed, we'll leave him alone and maybe just loop up ahead a little bit, because if he is following a breeding herd, we might get lucky and catch them a little bit further ahead of him on the next road. But he looks like he's quite relaxed at the moment. And again, we don't ever want to push animals, so keeping my distance. It's very different when you find them on the road or you let the elephants come into your space. So I don't want to push him and push myself into his space, which might make him feel a little bit uncomfortable. So I guess he's probably late teens, between 16 and 20, being pushed to the edge, the peripheries of the herd by the females, because he can be a bit too boisterous and whatnot around all the young ones. You can see he looked a little nervous earlier. He's calmed down now, and it's with an animal that shows you it's a little bit nervous initially. It's very important to do a slow approach, and you can tell quite quickly with elephants. They do have a lot of signs that let you know what sort of state of mind they're in, whether they're comfortable or uncomfortable. So when we first saw him, he was a little bit uncomfortable. That could possibly be because we came around a blind corner and suddenly we were very close to each other, so he got a little bit of a fright. So the first time I stopped to view him, I stopped at about 70, 80 meters, switched off the car, just started speaking nice and calmly, let him know that we're not a threat. And now we've moved a bit closer. We're probably about 30, 40 meters. And I'm just going to sit here for a little longer while he's feeding, and then just gauge his reaction. We might try to get a bit closer, but again, obviously we don't want to stress or pressure these animals we're viewing. You can see now its tail's sort of gone down. He's wagging it slowly, feeding slowly as he goes, so he's completely relaxed now. Of that initial sort of shock of coming around the corner, I don't want to put any adverse pressure on him, and I'm still going to sit for a little bit longer and let him get very used to us being close to him before we try and move the vehicle again. Also, while we're doing that, I'm listening very carefully. Because of a young bull of this age, they are sometimes completely alone, but normally they wouldn't be more than a couple of 100 meters from a breeding herd. So it is quite difficult to hear with the wind in the dry leaves, but we are also listening to see if there is possibly a breeding herd in the vicinity as well. Just to let you know, we came into this area that Scott, Steph and myself, while we were tracking a lot, called sort of the black hole. We found lots of leopard tracks going in, but could never find the leopards. And I'm just off Gallagher shortcut, very close to Juma Lodge and the quarantine clearings. So you can see his body language has changed. Another very important thing when you're approaching an animal, especially animals like elephants, when you initially see them, is how you drive up to them. You never want to... Oh, look at that. Another elephant. Just to the right of us. As I was saying, you never want to drive directly at the animal. That is a sort of threatening stance. Imagine if someone walked straight up to you and into your personal space, how you would feel about that. So you try to move away at sort of oblique angles to let them know that you're not trying to go straight into them. there's another elephant coming through from the right. Another young bull. I'm just going to move the vehicle a little bit. Oh no, he's going to come to us. So when he stopped on a fallen down marula, he's going to have a good tummy scratch. Let me just try to see if we can get a better view of that. Trying to find a gap in the bush here so we can get a better view. Say when back a little bit. There we go. Oh, looks like he's finished his tummy scratch, but he actually stepped over that fallen down marula and just gave the tummy a good scratch. Elephants are very good at finding different trees and things. Oh, it looks like he's found a different scratching post now. He's going to move around behind another fallen down tree there. So another young Eddie bull, possibly on the, again, more than probably on the peripheries, although elephants at this age sometimes will form little bachelor groups when they have been pushed out of the breeding herds, just for a bit of company more than anything else. So we're sitting between the two bulls as they slowly feed. And you can see their body language is completely relaxed now. Again, that is very important in the way you approach animals, specifically with elephants. And if they come into your space, not a problem, rather than you move into their space. Maneuver again. So also it's very important you let the car run for a few seconds before you move, just so you don't give them a fright. So start that noise and start moving immediately sometimes can give ellies a big fright, and that can cause them to run away or become aggressive, and obviously neither of that is what we want. Us a little head shake there, reminding us he's a big, strong, powerful animal. It's not an aggressive thing, it's just a sort of say, hey, don't get too close. Maybe you can see now his body language has changed. He's actually walking towards us. And there we go, he's smelling us now, making sure we're not a threat. More difficult to follow elephants through thick bush. Sometimes just driving over a log or whatnot can give them a fright. You just got to be very careful and move very slowly and calmly around ellies when you are off-road. As you can see, not a care in the world at the moment, apart from filling his belly. uses his foot there as an anchor to help with his trunk to pull that bush willow branch off. Oh, look, amazing how dexterous that is. Now he's going to put that into his mouth and basically roll it round and strip. There we go. You watch, he'll turn the branch with his trunk as he rolls it through his mouth, and he's stripping the bark off there. So what the elephants are after when they do that with bark is there's a thin layer under the bark between the sort of main woody part of the tree called the cambium layer, and that is the layer that transports all the nutrients that the roots gather from the soil and from water up to the rest of the tree, to the leaves and that. So that's what an elephant's after, and he's finished with one, and the next one. Swing it round. Thorn tree's trying to steal it from him. There we go, in position. And it's amazing how they use their trunk there to just twist it so they can sort of debark in a nice even fashion. There you can see how that bark's coming off, and you just left, oh, and he's dropped it. And you're left with a bare bit of branch. Oh, I don't know who caught that flapping through the shot very briefly. It's back in shot, is it? And see, it might fly into shot again. There we go, right at the bottom of the shot. Oh! But that was an African monarch butterfly. Oh, it's coming in and out of shot constantly. So now that it's warmed up a little bit, and the butterflies have had a chance for their wings to dry, they'll start fluttering about. There are a few flower species that are still flowering and that they will be feeding off. So these two boys are heading into some thicker stuff, and as I said, I don't want to really disturb them. We might just loop up a little bit ahead. There might be a breeding herd around, but we still have a frog surprise for you. So that was really nice little elephant interlude. Did that butterfly take off? He's still sitting in the ground there. We can try. Can be very difficult. I don't know if he took off. I'm just going to have a quick look. I thought I saw him. Nah, it looks like he's gone. Well, she's gone, actually. Sorry. There's a female monarch. Right, those two boys might come out on the road, so I'm going to shoot around to the road, and maybe we'll catch them out in the open. coming through. So it looks like a nice group of young bulls. There's a breeding herd. So these bulls were at the front of, sorry, Brian, looking at elephants and not looking after my cameraman, nearly taking his head off with the tree. So they're actually in the front of the rest of the breeding herd, and now that we're heading back towards the road, we've come across the rest of the breeding herd. I have seen this herd before. I recognize this cow. She's got quite nice, long, even tusks. I'm just going to try and get a view of her. Again, off-roading with elephants, you've got to be very careful how you approach them, because step crunching a branch in the wrong way might make them a little bit upset. But this cow I've seen quite a few times, and I've actually got some nice pictures of her before with that exact youngster. And she is a very, very relaxed old girl. Anna-Marie from New Jersey. Anna-Marie wants to know, is it going to be more difficult for elephants to find foliage and food as winter progresses? Yes and no, Anna-Marie. So elephants have quite an interesting adaptation. The fact is that during the summer months, 80% of their diet is made up of grass, and during the winter months, that changes, and about 80% of their diet is made up of trees. So that's how they cope with the change in seasons and finding enough food throughout the year. This young elephant, it looks like he's up to mischief. I think he's using that bush to stalk us. A young boy, and he's trying to sort of sneak around. Oh, but we found him. I'm just going to move out onto the road. Again, there's another young elephant, even smaller elephant, coming from in front of us, and there's another cow making her way straight towards us. Brent from Germany. Welcome on the Sunrise Safari. Nele, oh, watch my head. Would like to know all the ages of the elephant, and asked how old the elephant was. I'm not sure which elephant we're referring to, so I'll try to give a general rundown on the elephants we can see here. Let me just see. So that little one there is probably close to a year, but still maybe under a year. One of the ways we tell young elephant ages is we compare them to their mothers. If they can still fit under the mother's belly, then it's generally under a year. That elephant to the right, in front of the little one, is now disappearing behind a bush, is probably around 4 or 5 years old. There's another young bull on the road, and he's probably around 10. And you can see these, if we swing back quickly to the two little ones, the one at the back's a little bit older, so maybe might not fit under the mom's belly anymore, or maybe he does, so also probably around a year. Oh, isn't that sweet? And then about to walk into shot is the mother of one of those two, and she is an adult. Difficult to say exactly, but she's definitely probably over 30, just judging from her size and tusks, so probably between 30 and 40. So full adult. And those are the only ones we can see. That other elephant we saw with the nice straight tusks, another one of the mothers of these two naughty little boys in front of us, is also probably around a similar age, somewhere between 30 and 40. You can see the one closest to us at the back is a little bit older than the other. I'm going to move around so we can get a better view again. In elephant ages, we can always sort of give a rough idea but unless they are sort of really little ones that we know can fit under mom's tummy, it's quite difficult to age. When an elephant gets older, you will start seeing some very distinct things. There's sort of hollows in the skull that start depressing, the skin starts to sag quite heavily, and then you know that animal is sort of probably over 50. Oh, there we go, end of branch. So unfortunately she is behind this bush here, but I have another elephant literally on the road in front of me, so I can't really move at the moment. There we go. Young female, probably around 5 or 6 years old. Hi, Samantha and Herman Daba, who actually is an old WildEarth cameraman who's teaching English in South Korea. Samantha is one of his students. She's 12. Hi, Samantha. Really great to have you on the live safari with us this morning. And she would like to know the smallest of those ellies. How big is it? Now, Samantha, even though it's a baby elephant, it's still very heavy. It probably weighs around 100 kilograms. There's just quite a few elephants around me. I'm trying to think of something I can use as a size reference. I'm just going to move again. Oh, there he is, popping into the gap. But there are more elephants coming from the left of me as well. I can hear them in the bushes and on the road. Let me try think about how I'm going to be able to show you Samantha. Probably just over a meter, maybe not even a meter. What we can do, Samantha, is once we get away from the elephants, where I can get out of the car, I can sort of give you to my hip how tall that elephant is. From Wisconsin. Liz would like to know the size of an ellie's stomach. Well, Liz, that is a good question. It is massive. So to give you an idea, we'll talk about an elephant bull. So that's probably the biggest. So nice to make comparison to a big elephant bull. Can eat up to 200 kilograms of vegetable matter in a day. So 200 kilograms, let me just do my pound conversion in my head quickly. 200 kilograms. So that's around 500 pounds. It's about 500 500 pounds. But we're just going to cross over to Scotty quickly, and then we'll be back. We're going to be staying with these elephants for a little bit, and then we're going to cross over to Scott now. So we'll see you back shortly.
Welcome back, folks, and I'm going to keep this brief because it sounds like you're having a great time with Brent and the elephants. But thanks so much for following this morning's drive. I hope you had a good time with us. Sorry for the delay with the flat tire in the beginning, and well done to VM on camera, and big thanks to Nikki and Tara in Final Control. We're saying goodbye and look forward to this afternoon's adventure.
Welcome back, everyone. We've managed to loop around on a road from where we first found the elephants, and we're back with these two youngsters and an adult female. And it's so amazing to be able to sit amongst a herd of elephants like this. Guys, while we're sitting here with the elephants, I did ask a question about what was the difference between hares and rabbits. So I think while we're enjoying the elephant viewing, we're going to go through the answers on that. So Shanae and Penny, and there was one other who got it correct. And so, sorry, 1 second, guys. I'm just listening to the radio, and look at this little guy who's coming to have a look at us. So the correct answer was that hares are born as fully developed adults, miniature versions of their adults that can... Sorry, I'll get back to that, but this Ellie is just having a whale of a time next to us. He's lying down, eating on a little, looks like Rosus's creeper, but he's just playing now. But back to that, so basically they are fully developed miniature versions of the adults, and they're able to run within minutes of birth, where rabbits are born completely naked with their eyes closed in a warren under the ground. And there's actually quite a nice term for this. So a hare is precocial, and a rabbit is altricial. So obviously precocial comes from precocious. Let me just try. I don't want to scare him. I'm going to roll the car because he's so close. He's getting into frame. There we go. There we go. Cheeky little guy. So I think I heard Shanae and Penny got that right. The difference between hares and rabbits. I'm sure there are quite a few others of you who also got it right, but they were the first two in.
Brian sending it right. Black fish for coming.
This is a very cute little guy. We're actually sitting almost in the middle of the herd. And as I said, it all depends on the individual herds how we would do that. You can just judge by the adult females. I've actually seen this herd quite a few times, so I know they are quite relaxed. And their body language has told me that they're relaxed and they don't mind our presence. And even with the youngster who's away, oh, he wants to be a circus elephant. No, I'm only joking. he's much happier and healthier out here in the bush. I'm going to try and move back again because he's literally laying down so close to the car, I can't even see him. There we go. He is a wonderful, wonderful little character on this little bull. He keeps coming so close to us that we have to keep moving away from him. So Samantha, I would love to do that height comparison for you, but obviously I don't want to get out of the car in the middle of a herd of ellies. But I will try to do it this afternoon on the Sunset Safari if you are watching. If not, just definitely send the question in again, maybe on the Sunrise Safari tomorrow, and I will try my best. But we're having such a good time with these ellies, I don't want to drive away, especially when we've got these youngsters playing. So I think we're best to sit here. And the frog's surprise as well, I'm afraid is going to have to wait till the Sunset Safari. There's just, it would be such a travesty to take any limelight off these little ellies that we're spending time with at the moment. So it's been an interesting morning for us out here. It has been quite quiet in terms of game and general game and predator species. It was a cool misty morning, and quite a lot of your sort of general game would have been resting up and only getting moving later. We did have that quite exciting brief time with that hyena that was running up and down the road, sniffing, quite excited, trying to figure out what was going on. And that was quite interesting. And it's a nice close-off to the story of the Nguma Pride and that hippo that they killed a couple of days ago. I heard later that someone did find tracks of the Pride, and they have moved north of our boundary. But now we've had a chance today to focus on a lot of the smaller and more interesting things that we sometimes are very lucky we don't have to, because we are surrounded by these amazing animals that we live with. But luckily now, for the last sort of half an hour or so, we've been with this fantastic herd of elephants. And to all of you guys who've joined us for the Sunrise Safari, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on our vehicle with us and joining us for a game drive here at Juma in the Sabi Sands of South Africa. So I'm hoping to have a lot of you with us this afternoon. I'm going to say goodbye, and for the last minute, I think we should just enjoy this fantastic elephant sighting that we're experiencing. So over to the elephants, and have a wonderful evening or morning or whatever time of the day it is, wherever you are.